Guess what? I encourage you to make the most out of each and every day of life. It's such a gift. And yet, I've been talking a lot about the self-care. Are you taking care of yourself? So many of us, we're not. And there's guilt and shame around that, I know. And it's like, what do you need to hear, to feel, to experience, to kind of kick yourself out of that rut? As I'm up here on top of a mesa plateau. I love being outside. I love being in nature. I can tell you one of the biggest, most important parts of my healing journey has been falling back in love with nature, spending as much time out in nature as possible. The fresh air, the quietness, all that's wild. It's a beautiful thing out here. And yet, I can think back to when I was very depressed, very down on myself, very wounded. You know, it's wounded. When you're carrying around those wounds, some people externalize it, and I've seen that, right? The wounded guys and gals in the gym, you know, trying to get that revenge bod, and you know, that's a healthy form of stress relief, pain relief, by kind of embracing more pain. But then there's the other side where it's like, you know, you're depressed, so you just like, you're going through the motions, right? You're keeping yourself held back. You're keeping yourself stuck in the house, inside, not going outside, not really interacting because you don't want to interact with people. You don't feel it. You're not feeling it. You're not feeling up to it. And that's all. It's hard. It's really hard to be in that place. Show yourself some love. I love heart rocks. That's one of my favorite parts about being outside, is finding all the love, all the heart rocks. So let's think, you're depressed. You're not taking care of yourself and you're stuck. Well, first off, you got to ask yourself, do you have a serious addiction? And primarily I'm talking about drug or alcohol addiction. There's all these other addictions that are there too. But those two seem to be the ones that are going to keep you held back, keep you tied down the hardest. Those are the two that are going to really hold you down. And so you're either ready or you're not ready to release that. You're either really ready to give that up. And that's scary because there's all that, you know, chemical codependency that you're so used to that is giving you temporary relief. It is, you know, giving you some endorphins, but it doesn't last. And yet you're like, how do you break that vicious cycle? How do you break free from that vicious cycle, that emptiness, that pain? And if I was in that situation right now, you know, I just think to what I did is, you know, I asked for help. I said, I'm going to get sober. So I started going to AA. AA didn't really do it for me, right? I really had one of these spontaneous sobrieties because I was done, you know. I had fucked up. I mean, it was like that rock bottom. I had really fucked up. Getting arrested for a domestic. You know, I could spin it a whole bunch of different ways, but instead I just take ownership for it. I know that I wasn't my best, and I know that underneath the surface that there is something good inside of me, that there is more to me than that version of self-medicated, self-sabotaging, just, you know, someone that was just existing and just so angry underneath the surface. Well, what was I angry at? I mean, I was angry at the world. I was angry at myself. I was angry at a lot of things. And I needed to get sober. And I needed some help. Do you need to get sober? Do you need some help? If you do, my heart goes out to you. The one thing I wasn't willing to do, but I had thought about it, was to take my own life, right? Real talk. I wasn't like, I thought about it a lot. I came close, but I couldn't do it. Something deep down inside of me said that I could be this guy. The guy speaking life, the guy truly standing in my truth, embracing my truth, 1% better every day, embodying true masculinity, because I've healed my mental state, my emotional state, my spiritual state, and my physical state, and my financial state's kicking in, man. I mean, this right here, if you look around, this is my backyard. This is my backyard, right? I got a ranch right over there somewhere. Yeah, right in there. 21 acres, and I'm just so grateful. I'm grateful for all that. I'm grateful for all this. It's been a hell of a journey, 13 years, it wasn't easy. I don't even want to say that it is easy. I mean, it's just I've gotten stronger. I've become more resilient. I've become more grounded in myself. And here's a message for a lot of men, because this really messes dudes up, is one of the areas that I needed to heal was the emotional side of me. Well, what is that? That emotional side of you is your divine feminine. And we all have these energy centers within us, divine masculine, divine feminine, whether you're a biological man or woman or whatever else. We all have those energy centers inside of us. And so for me, I had to balance that out. I had to heal. The emotional side is the divine feminine. And as I did that, which is, again, it's not self-control, it's having self-awareness, which before self-awareness, you have to get through development, improvement, and it starts at discovery, which comes right after when you say enough of the self-sabotage. And that's just not going to change. There's no way around it. You can't go from self-sabotage to self-mastery in one fell swoop. It's a process. And it's a psychologically scary process, because there's so much programming that needs to get let go of, in terms of your beliefs, in terms of what you truly think is going to get you the relief you want, because you've already been looking for quick fixes, and you do get a little temporary relief, but it's not getting you the inner peace that you truly want. And inner peace is like way up on that energy chart, way past joy, past love, past acceptance, past being neutral. And it takes that neutrality. And I'm talking about vibrational energetic chart. It takes being neutral, which is all your beliefs, all your biases, all your, stereotypes and stigmas and all of this shit, man. You gotta fucking just set it aside and just say, you know what? I gotta start from scratch. And that's a beautiful thing. For a lot of people, you get scared about that. But to me, it was renewing to say, you know what? I don't need to worry about all this shit. I don't need to worry about all the social issues and the fucking bullshit no more. I'm going to dump all that. I'm going to look in the mirror, and I'm just going to focus on me. And I've done that for an extended period of time. And so many people, that's a challenge. And I'm in no way, shape, or form advocating as a parent or as an adult to somehow be irresponsible. No, you got to step up above and beyond in this game. You still got to take care of yours, and you still got to take care of you. But the thing is a lot of you have been taking care of others, thinking that's taking care of you, and you're suffering. When if you would just flip that polarity, which is this huge paradigm shift, to shift the polarity of who do you take care of first? Your kid or yourself, your inner child? And a lot of you just don't even realize, man, that you got this inner child that doesn't have to own your life. It doesn't need to be in charge, but it needs for you to create some space for acknowledgement, for connection, for understanding, for really just having a healthy relationship with that part of who you are. It doesn't go away. You basically pushed it away. You pushed it in the corner, said, all right, kid, shut the fuck up. Stay out of my way. And that's why you're suffering, because that inner child is grieving inside of you. And it really is the core of who you are. It's not it doesn't want to lead who you are, but it's the core. It's the nature of who you are. Because in that part of you is where all of the emotional wounds are, of where all the tough circumstances happened when you were helpless and hopeless and, young and feeble and impressionable and, taken advantage of, helpless in many ways. And somehow you think you grew up and that somehow that shit's gone, and it ain't gone. I hope you're starting to at least hear that part of it, that it's not gone. And the more that you're willing to give yourself permission to really just reconnect and have conversations there, and I think it's something I'm gifted. I know it's something I'm gifted in, is to be able to help you reconnect with your inner child in a healthy way, and at least show you. I don't want to enable you. You got to do the healing work. You get to reparent yourself, and that's what a lot of people don't even understand, this reparenting. Well, most of the people connect to this message probably had pretty challenging upbringings. It's the law of attraction. And so the cool thing is you get this ability to reparent yourself. And if you're new to the channel, new to hearing my message, look, there's three parts to who you are: an inner child, an adult, and a parent. Most of us, our parent is totally non-developed, which is a good thing, because you can now become the parent, the super parent, mom or dad that you always longed for. And who do you parent? Your inner child. And as you parent that inner child, guess what? You're going to start to feel more whole and complete. And ultimately, all of that love and all of that self-care, that you start taking care of yourself and loving yourself genuinely, authentically, sincerely, guess what? You're going to start overflowing with abundance. You're going to be like, man, you're going to be able to give people so much of who you are, from the essence of who you are, the true and authentic version of who you are. And that's that complete, total package: mental, emotional, spiritual, physical health. And maybe this sounds new age. I don't know what it is. It's the spiritual journey. It's the healing journey. It's the self-rescue. It's the opportunity for you to save yourself, rescue yourself. And in doing so, man, every single person attached to you, it's going to be ripples of healing. I mean, generational. You're going to heal your whole entire ancestry by starting by healing you, by putting the focus on you. And we're programmed to not do that, right? The programming that most of us have experienced, it's totally contrary to that. That's not what we have inside of us. And I think that's by design. We have to overcome. You have to be able to overcome that false programming so that you can truly awaken to the reality, which is spiritual. It's not physical, right? this is a spiritual reality, not a physical reality. And the more attached you are to the physical reality, the more suffering you're going to have. Because when you attach yourself physically, that means that when something doesn't go the way you want it to, or something is not aligned, you're going to suffer. You're going to be hurting. You know you're experiencing this. Anytime you have your identity in something, I mean, that was the crash course that really got me started on this phase of my healing journey, which was, years before the sobriety. But in the last 5 years, it was after I got divorced, after 21 years. That was such a wake-up call for me, because for literally half of my life, my identity was attached to being married, to being someone's husband. And when I lost that, I was in a fucking tailspin, man. This was 5 years ago. I was in a total tailspin. And it's been in the last 5 years that I've had the spiritual awakening, where the emotional piece came together and the spiritual awakening has really expanded in an incredible way, to where I don't attach myself to stuff. Does that mean that I get sad if a relationship goes bad, or a situation doesn't go as planned? Yeah, I can get down, but I don't have a depth of like, oh man, I'm so distraught because this happened or that happened. And a lot of us have attachments to just your teams. Are you a team guy or gal? I mean, is it like a team thing that, man, you get fucking wrecked? I saw someone the other day screaming and yelling at the TV with the family there. And like the family's kind of like, really, man, calm down. And I used to fucking be that way. Gosh, I'm so grateful that don't do it for me anymore, ever again. How can I ever care? I don't give two shits about that stuff. None of it. I check the scores. I'm a competitive guy. But I saw something so cool the other day. If you're a fan, I used to be a huge Bo Jackson fan, and someone had asked Bo Jackson, "Hey man, do you watch football still?" And he's like, "Nah, man." He's like, "I don't watch it for a few reasons." First off, he said, I used to do that as a job. Again, I always relate it to a job. That is what it is. That's people working. And he's like, I don't really like to watch. I used to do that for my job, so I don't really get a lot out of watching other guys do their job. That's what it boils down to. And then secondly, he said, I guess the modern day football, I haven't watched a game in forever, but I see highlights with all the dancing and shit, celebrating. And he's like, and the other reason is I like watching football, not dance competitions. I thought that was funny. But the essence of it is true. And it's like, do you have an emotional attachment? And the way you figure that out is, do you care if your team wins or loses? Does it mess you up? Do you get sad if they lose? Do you get happy if they win? And if that's the case, then, you know what I mean? You're attached to that emotionally, energetically. You are giving away your energy, giving away your life force, giving away the focus of yourself, and you're putting it into something else's hands that you have no control over. Do you at least realize that? You're giving away your energy and you have no control over what this thing does with it. I mean, that's like the most helpless thing ever. And it's the wildest thing that people are so hesitant to put that energy on themselves. Like, looking in the mirror, doing the emotional inner work every single day, no days off, staying locked in. Like, nothing but growth, nothing but success comes from that. Absolutely guaranteed 100%. That you're going to grow and expand and become an incredible, you're going to have so much success from that. Is it going to be easy? It just depends on what you define easy as, or what you look at hard as being. What I know is that you'll get stronger as time goes. And as you get stronger, ultimately, you're going to be able to handle the challenges of life as you start to stabilize your emotional state of being so much more smoothly. They're not going to fucking wreck you. Your highs aren't going to be so high and your lows aren't going to be so low. You're going to be more even keeled. And that's not because you're suppressing. It's because when the emotional shift happens, you sit there, you soothe, you process, you release. And sometimes you got to do it a little more. Sometimes you got to kick off your shoes. Sometimes you got to do the breath work. Sometimes you got to do the journaling. Sometimes you got to do praying. Sometimes you got to go jump in a cold shower. Sometimes you got to go jump into hot water. That's all self-care. Sometimes you got to go to the gym and work out. Sometimes you got to go for a hike and land up on top of a fucking mountain. Sometimes you got to go on a vacation. Sometimes you got to just go outside for a walk. This is all self-care. When you're feeling a little stressed out, or you're feeling a little down, or you're feeling a little sad, expand your emotional vocabulary so that you can handle these things. Instead of being so afraid by it, instead of continuing down that path that says, you know what, your emotions don't matter, fuck your feelings. Don't fuck your feelings. Feel your feelings. And as you feel them, you process it. That state of being will last probably less than 5 minutes, if not less than 2 minutes, if you just sit there and breathe into it. Identify where you're feeling discomfort. Is it the chest tight, the gut, the back, the legs? Where do you feel that discomfort? And you give it a name and you just breathe in it. And you soothe and you say, it's okay. We can feel a little overwhelmed. We can feel helpless right now. We can feel sad. Right? And you honor it. You honor your feelings. It's sacred. This whole environment that says, fuck your feelings, let that shit go. Fucking better not feel your feelings. It's like, are you kidding? You need to. Because every time you don't release them. And they're trapped inside your body. And you have blockages. And that's healing work. That's the healing work that it really takes for you to open up to. And if you're willing and open to exploring those options, reach out to me, greg@resultskillexcuses.com. If you're looking at doing some self-discovery work and turning the page on self-sabotage, download Results Kill Excuses app in your app store. There's over a month worth of free courses in there. Really good stuff. Not easy, but really good stuff. And if you're someone that's been thinking about journaling, I think I have one of the most incredible resources to get someone started on journaling, because it's more than just one-dimensional. It's more than just a blank page. It's literally guided. It's a tool that if I was 13 years ago, fuck man, I would be lightning years even ahead of where I'm at right now. But I started with blank pages 5 years ago, journaling. And this manifested itself throughout the past several years. And I'm so grateful to finally be able to share this with the world, where you have daily worksheets, but you also have something that's going to help you build your self-accountability. And so many people lack that self-accountability piece. And the way that I'm trying to help you do that is reframing setting goals monthly, weekly, and daily to changing it to things that matter to you. So shifting the whole term goal and saying, what matters to you today? Did you want to go for a walk? Did you want to eat a healthy meal? Did you want to get to bed by 9? I mean, if you wrote those 3 things down and then you wake up the next day and you did all 3 of those things, you now have increased self-confidence. And that's what this journal will do for you. It'll also help you to start reprogramming your negative thinking with I am affirmations. It'll start to also help you to see what this process is, going from self-sabotage to self-improvement, self-development, self-awareness, all the way through self-mastery in 91 days, 13 weeks, with coaching from me. which is something that I've never seen out there packed into a journal. So if you'd like to check that out, it would be my honor to send you one. I really am grateful for everybody that's already smashed and smashed the purchase now button and has given me an opportunity to send them something from my heart to yours. It is a huge step for you and a small investment in your future. But if you are willing to lock in, you're going to be successful. And you have someone like me and a community that's growing every single day of like-minded people that are sick and tired of feeling sick and tired, that are tired of the old paradigm of suck it up and walk it the fuck off, that we're ready to now start cheering each other on, building each other up, holding each other accountable, right? And just really doing life together in a more positive, healthful, and meaningful way. So with that being said, I hope you'll get outside. I hope you'll start taking care of yourself. Go enjoy nature. It's one of the most healing things that you can do is that nature therapy. So I send that to you. I send you some time to say, go outside. It could be a walk around your neighborhood. It could be in a park. It could be in a huge, vast wilderness as such. Doesn't matter. Just go outside, get some sun, get some fresh air, and enjoy the greatest gift, which is life. Not the stress of life, not the worries of life, but the freedom of life. I love you guys. You know the drill. Results kill excuses, because if it was easy, it wouldn't be worth it. Greg's out.